Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, karibu sana. My name is Regina, and in this channel I share about simple living. In the last few weeks, I have been sharing about saving money, and under saving money, have been talking about Saccos, investing in Saccos, and I shared real life experience where I went to my Sacco the other day, and the dividends that I got from the Sacco, I plowed them in, and I was encouraging people to invest in Saccos. We went through the benefits of investing in Saccos, but I felt that we did not fully explore the opportunities that are there in Saccos. And so today I bring on board Peter Mushira, who is my husband, but not from a husband perspective this time round, but from someone who is interested in financial matters, someone who has studied the financial matters in Nairobi especially, and who has interest in investing in Saccos and has invested in Saccos and made profit from the same. So karibu sana Bwana Peter, and kindly share more with us about this Sacco business, investing in Saccos, and how can we get into it, how can we benefit from it as a people. Karibu.
Thank you, Regina, and thank you for the work you're doing, sharing this very important topic: decluttering, financial literacy, financial planning, financial independence. Which for me, financial independence is key. And you know, and Regina asked me to come a bit and talk about why circles and why are we encouraging people to invest in circles. I drew it down in four key areas, which hopefully by the end of this, you have been convinced at least kidogo to invest in a circle, because it's something that has been tried, tested, and it works. Maybe just on the very onset, maybe you are a big multi-millionaire, billionaire. Maybe this may not make a lot of sense, but if you're someone starting to save, maybe you don't have that much money, maybe you have money, but you've been wondering, how do I sort out my finances? How do I save? Which is the best product? This will be very interesting. I'm sure by the end of this. So I think straight into it
Yes,
is to say that why circles. Answering the question, why circles? And from number one, I think I'll have like 5 key points. And one, I say the conservative investment. Why are we saying the conservative investment? We are living in very interesting times, especially us in the third world, because this whole market system is a foreign thing that came and told us, you can put your money in shares in the stock market or some derivatives and very interesting things which some of us do not understand. But we've had circles in Kenya for a very long time, and for those who do not know that Kenya has the largest cooperative movement in sub-Saharan Africa, which is a big feat. Conservative investments tend to yield less but are more safe. And I know here many of you will say, well, that's not where I get the money. The higher the risk, the bigger the dividend, which is true. But what are we looking for? We are looking for financial independence. So yes, there's that aspect of doing some high risk business. Go out and buy land in some desert area in Kenya and hope that it will appreciate. Go out and venture, into venture capitalism in some small startup and grow it. That is also important. But what about and especially now during COVID season where we don't have a lot of money, where can we put it? These are conservative investment, minimal risk, but very good returns if you ask me, and I'll be explaining why. Number two is a competitive return. And when I say a competitive return, what do I mean? Do I mean that if I invest 10,000, I'll make 10,000? No. Do I mean if I'll invest 10,000, I'll make 1,000? No. But a competitive return, comparing this with other investment avenues. The many investment avenues we have is we buy land, is we put money in the bank and a fixed deposit account. Sometimes we invest in family. You put money in a chama, and the chama will buy something, and and all that, and we get a return, and all of this will give you a return. But for those, and I hope after this, and I hope Regina will put a link of SASA. SASA is the body that regulates circles. Sure. And even now, before you join in a circle, take time, do your due diligence, look around for circles, look at the last 3 years of returns, The SACCOs I'm talking about and those that have had the opportunity to invest are SACCOs that give an annual return of more than 10%. That right there is competitive. Why? Go to any bank today and try and negotiate with 100,000 shillings or with 200,000 shillings to get an interest rate of more than 4%. It's almost impossible. And because the banks can lend their money to treasury through treasury bills and treasury bonds. But the Sacco will, the type of Saccos I'm talking to you about, and this information is public, will give you at least a return of 10%. So why is 10% competitive? And always you put a benchmark of inflation. If I have a million shillings today and I put it somewhere and I get a return of which is lower than inflation, inflation here the average being maybe 6% in the last maybe 2-3 years, you're not making money. You're just having your money being kept somewhere, but it's below inflation. So the return should almost always be above inflation of that year. And again, research. SASRA website, which is the Saccos Regulatory Authority in Kenya. The CBK website can help you to get the average interest rates of banks, and many other private players. Your financial planner will be able to tell you this. Number three is the issue of the product line that is given by Saccos. I have saved money in banks, very good banks, which is good, and I'm not here to talk against banks. You should continue saving even in banks. But what is a product line? When I'm just there with saving my 1,000 shillings a month, and I go to the credit manager, the chances that he'll give me a reasonable amount of money with a reasonable, predictable interest rate is difficult. Why am I talking about the interest rates? We had very well during the crisis, the financial crisis, both in the US and even in Kenya. You take a loan, you take a mortgage from the bank, but most of the bank's rates are variable, especially here in East Africa, in Kenya. You have some few products that are fixed rates, but you have to be a very competitive client. So at least the Sacco will give you loans that you can get over the counter, loans that are very predictable in terms of interest rate. Yes, and that is very key. Why predictability? An organization that gives you're able to project that in the next 5 years I'll be able to pay this, regardless of what happens to the economy. Because in other form of products, the interest rate is variable. So if the economy goes down, the interest rate goes up. You're told now, we are adjusting your interest rate. It was 14%, now it's 15%, and that can be a very, very, very big blow. The other one is
can I also
yes,
add in that one that with Saccos we also get to get emergency loans. Like I feel that while you give the reasons why we need to invest in Saccos, and we should not forget that with Saccos there is this product of emergency loans, which is usually at a lower rate compared to if you got an emergency loan from, for example, say a bank or another place that you may want to access an emergency loan.
Exactly. And these are very important things. And again, in the beginning of the video, I said, of course, if you're a billionaire, this may not make sense when you need an emergency. Yeah. But many of us, you understand what I mean. Every now and then, you need school fees from Toto, and you don't have money. Every now and then, like during this last 1 year, 2 years, rent is due. You don't have the money, and you need that loan immediately. Who is the easiest partner? Number four, why I think you should consider joining a Sacco or really investing is the model of management of Saccos. Saccos are owned by the members, whereas in many other financial products in the financial sector, it is actually the financial manager who owns that product, and you are just bringing in your money. For the Sacco movement in Kenya is modeled around all these people come together and they own this. For example, if I call it the Peter Sacco, is owned by all the people who have put their money there and who are putting their money there every year. So your money, your initial investment, your initial capital is very safe. And goes the question, people ask me, oh no, you're telling me why Sacco, these Saccos can fall, they are not run by Nini. But I put to you the question, even in Kenya in the last 5 years, if you count how many circles have actually collapsed versus how many banks have collapsed, the answer is yours. And some of these organizations have collapsed with billions of money of people. We hardly hear that in the circle. There are a few rogue ones, but in terms of the history, in terms of the how they have been run over time, they have a very good history.
And Sastra is able to, I mean, the managing body, the body that manages the circles, I will put the link down there, is able to manage and control how these circles are run, right?
Yeah, exactly. Sastra is more of a supervisor. Any circle that is deposit taking they are supervised by Sastra. Every day they have to give returns. They have to give daily returns if they loan money to the directors. That's something that I also knew recently. So it deals with issues of conflict of interest. It deals with issues of investment. A Sacco cannot just wake up and buy land from nowhere, which is a ghost which we have seen in very many other Ponzi schemes and investment schemes. There's a very meticulous way in which it is done. And finally, the regularness of dividend payments. Almost always, we invest and we expect a return at the end of the year. The same thing to Saccos. They pay a dividend at the end of the year. It may be lower than you expect, it may be higher than you expect, but they usually pay it every year at around the same time. So you can actually plan for that. Next year there'll be this coming up, and you can decide, as Regina was sharing in, I saw her video last week, that you can decide to reinvest, which is something which is good because that now leads to compound interest, and within no time. When I first joined the Sacco, I first joined a Sacco in 2000, I think, and 7. And by then, I wouldn't imagine that I could save 1,000,000 shillings, but over time, and because Saccos welcome you to save even 1,000 shillings per month slowly, you can top up slowly. That predictability that I will get a return is not rivaled by many products in the market. Of course, they are there. I'm not saying they are not. But when you look, even like, if I can just quote, and if you can allow me, the financial year closing 2020, we've just started hearing the results from the financial sector for companies on the stock market. And now, I've counted 3 of very reputable companies where some of them had even bought shares, but they are saying that yes, we've made a profit, but because of Corona, we are withholding the dividend. So no dividend for you, Mr. Shareholder. Wait, we are investing back in the company, and it's very opaque. You have very little chance to question. You are very far off from the directors, unlike the Sacco where you are actually a member and you are actually involved. So that predictability, that once in a year shock that you have saved and now this is a dividend, it is key. So I think as a closing, investigate, do your due diligence. Look for a good Sacco. If you don't know, you ask a friend. You have very good Saccos in almost all sectors. In the farming community, some of them are the best Saccos. In the professional community, you have Saccos of in the transport sector, you have matatus, you have taxis. In the boda sector, there are Saccos. There are almost Saccos in each and every sector, and where you can find like-minded people that you can walk this journey. So I think, I don't know if that will convince your viewers, Regina, but I think for me, it is a good place to start. If I was 20 today, if I was 22 and I was running a car wash, or I was doing a kibarua getting 300, I will try every day to put in 50 shillings in a Sacco. You will be shocked at the growth and the interest over time, and the products that this thing can give. I think I believe I've convinced your people or your viewers.
Thank you.
And like and subscribe to Regina Motero's channel. Brilliant content. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Peter. I really appreciate that you took time to share these 5 points with us, and just to top it up by saying that together, this year we've doubled our dividends, as you saw on the thumbnail. We started investing and putting more money in the Sacco, as I said in the previous video, and by continuous contribution this year, the dividends that we got last year, this year they doubled. That's to say, like, if we had 200,000 dividends last year, this year we got 400,000. I mean, that really motivates me, and it motivates us to continue. That motivates us. Please, Funga. Kidogo. Funga mam kidogo. That really motivates us to continue investing in Saccos and encourage others also to join the movement. And why we are doing this is for the sake of financial freedom and creating our own wealth. If you remember, when I started these sessions of saving money, the intention and the aim is financial freedom. We want to be free from, these financial mishaps, that I'm not able to pay my rent this month, I'm not able to pay my child's school fees. Let us plan ourselves better so that we can be better custodians of the money that God has given us. We grow that money so that we can be wealthy and take care of our financial needs without messing up our lives. So I hope you enjoy this type of content, and if you want to hear more from Peter, he's here. Please let me know on the comment section, and we'll be bringing him on board when you're talking about these money matters. Thank you so much. Please remember to subscribe if you have not. Share the video with your friends. Give me a thumbs up. This helps, by the way. Giving a thumbs up helps. Thank you so much, guys. See you next time. Bye.